understand what happened to your people in, with the golf course issue. It's really very detrimental. But I think I'm an architect, and you're really confusing the people and you're confusing the issue, because a lot of that overbuilding had nothing to do with the changes of land use. All of downtown Miami was already zoned for those very high skyscrapers that we have. So none of that, if you think that was due to a land use change your mind now, because that had nothing to do with it. But it's really very unfortunate issues that you brought up and that Fran brought up. But the problem is that we have a very apathetic voting population. 22% of the voting public voted in the last election. So we're going to leave the destiny of this county, and I'm not interested in what's happening in your county. I could just talk about what's happening in our county. In our county, we actually have community councils in all of Miami-Dade County. The county itself is broken up into different districts. So the people do have a lot of power already. So if you want to change something in your neighborhood, if I come and I say to you, I want to build a school here and it's zone residential, I can't just willy-nilly do it. So Fran's issue is with the city, but the rest of Miami-Dade County is already pretty organized. The problem is that what you're trying to do is make voters who are like Gwen Margolis said, are in Homestead, now have to study the issue of what's happening in North Miami, and nobody that I know, and not me for sure, I'm not going to be studying what's happening in Miami Gardens or North Miami Beach, because, you know, there's only so many hours in the day. So you're really asking a bunch of people that don't know anything about anything, because they just don't have the time to be studying all these land use changes to vote on something. And that is really the biggest issue.
What about that issue? How do you, and it goes back to what Professor Foreman had said, how are people going to be well informed? Municipalities aren't going to be providing any information. So basically we come back to then the developers who through their campaign ads are going to be providing all the information.
The people who are affected by this have an ability. I mean, we have newspapers, we have the internet. I mean, this is just the reality. This gentleman,
neighborhood association,
the neighborhood association, but this gentleman and his and the woman here on the Miami River situation, the information gets out, and the information gets out whether there's something that's fair that's happened or whether the public's getting, or at least individuals are getting a raw deal.
Neisen, how hard is it for information, or how easy is it for information to get out?
It's very hard for the information to get out, because you have a situation where, for instance, a comprehensive plan, as I said, has many elements. So if you want to change it to allow, let's say, the Life Sciences Center, you have to make sure that it is consistent on roads, schools, fire services, police services, water and sewer, all those elements of the comprehensive plan. It's impossible for me as a trained professional to understand that. How is anyone else, how is the average citizen going to understand it? Where is the information going to come from? It's just not. I mean, there's one thing I would like to say. You know, it sounds great to say that you're for the people. You know, my parents raised me to say, watch out for people who wear their virtue on their sleeve. Say, I'm for honesty, I'm for the people. I mean, that has been used throughout history to empower politicians like the Huey Longs in Louisiana, who do a lot of bad things, and they take an issue and they stir up the people, saying it's for the people. I mean, I think we've got to start thinking now, or this country is in deep trouble. Some of the greatest plans, I just want to finish by saying one thing. Take the Burnham Plan for Chicago. Considered the greatest city plan in the history of the United States, probably. Or Olmsted's plan for Central Park. Those did not go to votes of the people. And I would dare say, if every significant urban planning initiative like that had to Pierre L'Enfant's plan for Washington, D.C., that didn't go to a vote of the people. You look at the things we admire most in this country. Chicago and its waterfront and its park system. Central Park and all the Olmsted parks, like in Atlanta and Boston. Washington, D.C. Those were all done with plans. And those were plans that smart people who knew about urban planning and had vision were able to do. They were not voted on.
Thank you.
Just
Question right
if
here.
I can have a response to
Oh,
that.
hold on, this lady's been waiting for a long time.
I would like to respond to that. My name is Tom Connick, it's not Huey Long. I have never run for political office, nor do I want to. I have never gotten paid 1 penny. It has been pro bono, the land use, situations I've been involved in. The reality is these plans he's talking about, if the voters can vote yes. Why is there an assumption that the voters are going to vote no? No, it holds them accountable. And what it's going to do is if they know they have to go before the voters, they are going to be more restrained than they have been in the past. So we were in a civil discussion. I'm not sure how we got off into, saying stuff like Huey Long and this other stuff.
I'm not accusing you of being Huey Long, but others who talk about being for the people. But let me respond to one thing. Let me take the Central Park example. When Central Park was first conceived in the mid-1800s, people thought that they were nuts. Why would you build a great park so far from the center of the city, which was in Lower Manhattan? And I dare say, if it was put to a vote, most people would say, Olmsted is nuts. There's no reason to put a big park up there from 59th Street to 110th Street. I'm voting against it. That is precisely the kind of great decision that can make great cities that would probably be blocked.
They had no land use change at the time of Olmsted and Central Park.
If there's a lady.
Yeah, hi, my name's Elizabeth